Hello race fans and welcome once again to the Full Throttle Performance Next Gen Sim Racing Series. Here we are at race number 2 in the round of 12. It's the Talladega 50 presented by Mopar Motorsports, coming to you live here on Rice Motorsports TV. Well, we're running our way through the playoffs here, folks, and race number 2 and obviously getting close to the end of this round here, and things obviously they've been tight and they're going to get even tighter. And when we look at those points, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. That would be Sonic Graphic Design, Admin Box, Turn 2 Terribles, and Buster's Corner. And our broadcast sponsor, SRM Design, the official paint shop of Rice Motorsports TV. Now, boy, I tell you, I said that the things are getting tight, and yeah, let's take a look at the driver standings. Now, William Brown, he won last week, so that automatically locks him into the next round, so he can rest easy now to go out there and have fun the next 2 races. Tyler Isley right there in that second position. Robert Bingaman up 6 spots into a 3rd position there, so good job there for Jaden. Kevin Click, he's actually tied with that. He moved up into a tie with Bingham in there for that 3rd spot. And then Kyler McCarthy and Carson Pittman, they're tied for the 5th position. Jimmy Barr's 7th. Chris Lynn, he's on the bubble, so he's the one that going to be feeling the most pressure. David Smil Jr., Ken Baum Jr., Nick Cannon, and Bill Hales got some work to do to get up into that top 8. And moving over to the team standings, actually no change this week. Everybody remains in their same positions. Turn 2 Terrible to continue to lead Nitro, and as you can see, all the other teams are in their respective positions as they were last week. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the weather out there tonight. And boy, 68-degree air temperature, where the winds are only 2 miles an hour, and beautiful weather for racing out here tonight at Talladega. Of course, they have 4 sets of tires to work with this evening. The set they start with, plus 3 additional sets. It's an open setup and no fast repairs. They have 3 green-white checker attempts for 80 laps here tonight at this 2.6-mile facility. As always, thank you for joining us here on Rice Motorsports TV. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell so you'll know every time we go live. And let's see how much time is left on the board here. Let's see. I think we're getting close. Oh yeah, we're about 30 seconds from rolling into the qualifying session here. We'll probably watch a couple of cars go out. Of course, we want to hear from our sponsors before we start the race, but we'll go ahead and stick here with them as they get ready to roll out for qualifying. It looks like everybody's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, just about all the playoff contenders. I think all but one. I see 7, including Chris Lynn, who's on the bubble. It should be. I don't know who it is that's not here right now. Might be somebody who couldn't make it. The matter of fact, is Brown out there tonight? He might have. Oh yeah, William Brown. He's in there. Yep. Definitely is. So let's see. I think I see Ken Baum Jr. making his way out. Boy, I tell you, it's just it's so unusual to see him down there having to fight to get into the playoffs. Who would have thought you'd see that? But hey, that what a difference a season can make here, And in fact, he did start off. He was very strong throughout the regular season and got into the playoffs, man, got into some trouble early on and having to fight his way back up the order. And, he's definitely down in that drop zone there, making his way around because, they'll always ride that high line on their out lap. And who knows, he might even stay up there on his first time lap just because it takes a while to get these cars wound up. The high banks of Talladega. He's coming around now to hit the stripe. He'll be starting his first time lap here. I don't remember if did they get 2 laps or is it one and done here? We'll follow him all the way around for see if he does 1 or 2. Let's see where he ends up at here. Racing down the back stretch towards turn 3. Now, as he makes his way out of turn 4, he'll either stay up there or he will drop it down to the inside, obviously taking the shortest distance through the corners. It looks like he's starting to move down a little bit. Let's see what he gets as he crosses the stripe here. First hot lap on the board. And that will be, wow, pole position. And he just got bumped. I think it's Kevin Click that's on provisional pole at the moment, 53.486. Man, he is falling down the order. And everybody's out there by themselves. So he has to try to do what he can to pick that up. Now he's down as far as 8th position. Bill Hales, I can see on my other timing screen that he's currently provisional pole. And we'll see if Inbaum Jr. is able to pick this back up. Can he get himself back into the top 10? Boy, he's down to P12 already. Coming down to the line, let's see how much he improves. If he improves, second and final hot lap, he improves his time up to P4. And that may be where he'll start. We're not 100% sure. There may be some more folks out there, but we'll go ahead and take a quick moment to hear from our sponsors, and we'll also throw in the national anthem, and we'll be back to do some racing. Hey, you're watching the Full Throttle Performance Next Gen Sim Racing Series here on Rice Motorsports TV.
How are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, I'm talking here. You know who you're talking to? Macho Man! My way to Money I Roll.
Two Terribles, Port Royal Speedway. We've got Devin Borden with us.
Keen Motorsports Shop here with Kyle Keen.
Sitting here with Sean Keen. We're going to talk a little bit about racing history.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Okay, folks, cars are rolling off. Let's take a look at that starting grid. On the pole, Robbie Bice, Bill Hale starting second, Carson Pittman in that third position. Fourth is Shane Wielden Sr., fifth is Brian Pressler, Jimmy Barr sixth, seventh is Ken Baum Jr., Nick Cannon eighth, Lucas Nilgis in the ninth position. Kevin Click rounds out your top 10. Then we have Matthew Fitz 11th. 12th is his dad, Carl Fitz, in the 13th position. We have Jeremy Zarfos with Michael Self 14th, 15th Michael Zuver, 16th David Smil Jr., 17th William Brown, and 18th Dylan Hastings. Don DeGroot is 19th. George Wood rounds out your top 20. Then we have Ryan Broderick 21st, Colin McCarthy 22nd, Tyler Isley 23rd, 24th is Jaden Bingaman, and then 25th is Stan Mayberry with Brody Green 26th, and Chris Lynn, a starting shotgun on the field in the 27th position. Robbie Bice, that is, will be leading them to the green flag. Bill Hill's right up there on the outside of row 2. Bill Hills, he's one of the guys that definitely needs to have a good night here tonight. The pace car getting ready to come down on the pit road. Yeah, they're coming down to the line, waiting for that green flag. We got the green, and we are racing here at Talladega. Down into turns 1 and 2. Bice still in the lead there. Hale's right behind him. Carson Pittman in that third spot. You see the guys that are on the bubble, they have the highlighted in the red there. The guys in the blue are the rest of the playoff contenders, and then the only yellow, you'll see Chris Lynn, he's highlighted in yellow. He's on the bubble. William Brown has the green highlight. He's the only driver who's locked into the next round, the round of 8 at the moment here. 67, Brian Pressler down on the inside. Ken Baum Jr. right behind him. Robbie Bice will lead them to the start of lap number 2. So got lap number 1 under their belts. Somebody's on pit road, Dylan Hastings. I wonder if he's he might be doing a drive-through or something. Might be a penalty. It doesn't look like he might be stopping. Yeah, he's coming on out. He might have had to do a drive-through penalty there, folks. Meanwhile, they're door-to-door back there. Robbie Bice, Brian Pressler got his nose just ahead. Him and Ken Baum Jr. This is exactly what both of them need. Well, Brian Pressler, he's not in the playoffs. Ken Baum Jr. is, and he definitely needs to be up there at the front, making some moves, getting some, get the maximum points he can tonight. He has tonight and then next week to get himself, to keep himself in playoff contention, I should say. So they're running 1-2 there. Who was that stepped out on the high side? That was the 42 there. Jeremy Zarfos went to the high line, 28 there, right behind him. But that, oh boy, that high line isn't working right now. Look at Lucas Nilgers and company. They just slide right on by. They close up the gap right behind Ken Baum Jr. Michael Zuver there right behind him. Then you have the 61 there, Don DeGroot. And then followed by the number 9 there, William Brown, who's already locked in. He can have some fun out here tonight at Talladega. No worries at all for the number 9. And further back, there's Chris Lynn. He's back in the 16th position. Definitely, he's on the bubble. He certainly doesn't want to drop any more points, any more places in the standings. And because, it's such a long race, only on lap 4 of 80 laps here. There's a long ways to go. Coming around to start lap number 5. Lucas Nilgers, we always see him running up near the top there, running in that 3rd position at the moment. Everybody pretty much staying in line here. They got to try to get that outside line working there. A little further back, Jeremy Zarfos. Oh, now he was leading Robbie Bice, and now the 53 Bill Hale's giving Bice a little bump draft there. The 42 drops down behind the 17 Tyler Isley. Boy, that outside line is not working right now for sure. As they're trying to play catch up with that inside line. Getting a little bit of a run here now, but still not quite the momentum they're looking for at the moment. That outside line starting to move a little bit. Nobody else is alongside the group right now. Maybe just those, 4 cars there? 3 cars from the looks of it. Trying to make their way up to the front. And there's Robbie Bice. Now they got the momentum. Bice, Bill Hales, Carson Pittman all move ahead of Brian Pressler. Good to see Shane Wilden out there. Haven't seen him in a while. Out there running out there tonight. Of course, the 4 there, Carson Pittman, that's also one of the teammates. So Mopar Motorsports are running, they're running Bill Hales. Bill, let's see, is he a member of that team? And yes, he is. Okay, that's all the Mopar Motorsport drivers are for all 4 running there. And the minute I say that, I don't see the 88 out there tonight. And so give a shout out to him. He must have had to work. And they're running 1 through 4 at the moment. They are actually the sponsors of tonight's race, the Talladega 50. So the whole gang is right up the front, and boy, I tell you, that's some good. He's got 3 rear gunners right there behind him. Looking like they're coming up on Dylan Hastings in a hurry. Poor Dylan Hastings, he's been out there in no man's land. Obviously going to get caught. Nothing he can do about that. only a matter of time. Here they come now, and they'll blow by. Obviously, he'll try to see if he can drop down in line somewhere as the field goes on by there. So he'll be in that lucky dog position. Maybe he'll drop in behind Tyler Isley here. Let's see. Yeah, there he goes. Tucks on in there behind the 17. Shane Wilden, he's the last Mopar driver in that top 4. Boy, he's got Brian Pressler breathing down his neck there. I think their game plan is pretty simple right now. Try to stick together as much as possible. Shout out to the folks in the chat. Let's see, right now Carson Pittman, he's one of the playoff contenders. They're not in the drop zone, but he's the only one that's in the top 10, with the exception of Tyler Isley. And those two are two of the playoff drivers that are further up in the order. But I tell you, the points are so tight, and things can change from week to week. You really have to bring your A game every single week. Kevin Click, he's back there in that 12th position. So he obviously has a little work to do to obviously want to. Now he's got a couple of guys that are in the drop zone ahead of him. That would be Bill Hales and Ken Baum Jr. But he has the other two that are in the drop zone behind him, well behind him. So that's good for him as well. And Chris Lynn is only a couple of cars behind him, 32 machine there. And he's right on the bubble. And right now he will be, he's threatened by the 53 Bill Hales and Ken Baum Jr. Possibly knocking him out of that top 8. So he'll definitely want to move up as many positions as possible. But, in that perfect world, yeah, he'd love to move up there, but also move ahead of those guys that are below him in the points at the moment. So we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out here. Rim Brown, he's right up there, right there with the lead pack, right behind Michael Zuver at the moment. A lot of guys, they'll say, sometimes when you're going to a short track like Martinsville, everybody just shakes their head like, oh man, oh no. And a lot of times they say the same thing about these plate tracks like Talladega and in Daytona, because boy, I tell you, something can go wrong so quickly. And being such a big track, I tell you, if you get a lap down or something, it's very difficult to get caught up. And especially in this league where there are no faster pairs. That he fits in the 17th position. There are some playoff guys back here. Colin McCarthy back in that 20th spot. He's got the 91 of Brody Green there right behind him. Followed by the 26, Jaden Bingaman. Both McCarthy and Bingaman are in the playoffs. Of course, Bingaman, he's leading. I think, is he leading the standings right now? I think he is. Or, no, William Brown is. I'm sorry. But Bingaman's right up there. I think he's like second or third or something like that. He's tied, as a matter of fact. Let's see. Where is he tied? He's tied with, who is he tied with? He is tied with Tyler Isley, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, he's right there in the 22nd position. Boy, Tyler Isley up in the 10th spot, up in the front group there. That'll definitely be a tiebreaker position for sure if he keeps that kind of gap between him and Jaden Robert Bingaman. It's all about not just their finishing position, but in the race itself, but where they finish in relation to each other. Riding on board of Bill Hales, he's in the next to best spot he could be in to help himself out in the points, because he is well down. He's definitely down the order. In a little bump draft there to Robbie Bice, his teammate, trying to keep him going. But look on the high side there, though. I see Lucas Nilgis. He's trying to get something going. Michael Zuber on that high side. William Brown up there as well. The Mopar Motorsports drivers are all one nose to tail down on that inside line. And all challengers are just going to have to get them on the outside. He's trying to get close enough. He's not quite there just yet. Robbie Bice and company running a good line. I know David Salter is jumping up and down like, come on guys, let's go. He got a nice little run on them now. And as they race down the backstretch here. They'll just trying to hold on to that lead. Michael Zuber right in the mix up at the front, and William Brown, he's just he's just along for the ride here tonight. I'm sure he'll be trying to help some folks out, because of course Lucas Nilgis, that's a teammate of his. And now they're going back and forth. Michael Zuber, he's those are all like Glitter Kitty Racing and Team Sparkle Unicorn. They're pretty much the same team. One of the teams came up from the I want to say it was the Xfinity series, but it's basically all the same team, just a couple of different names there and stuff for the different series. But yeah, so there's all sorts of teammates up here at the front. Lucas Nilgis there, Michael Zuber, William Brown battling against Robbie Bice, Bill Hales, Carson Pittman, and let's see, Shane Wilden fell back. He's battling hard with Matthew Fitz for position there. Wilden in that 98 machine. I thought Fitz was up there. He's back there a couple of more spots. Brian Pressler, he's been hanging up right at the front very well. I believe he's the only up and smoke driver up there at the moment, I believe. Boy, that outside line, see how they've just fallen back once again. Ken Baum Jr., he's kind of, not too much he can do right now. He's just doing what he can do. Staying in line. It doesn't look like he's going to venture up on that high line too much. I think he looks like he's happy to just stay down on the inside line there with the Mopar Motorsports drivers for the time being anyway. And the majority of the field is together back in, 20th position. Kyler McCarthy, there's another little gaggle of cars right there. He's leading that group. McCarthy, Bingham, David Smil Jr., Carl Fitz. David Smil Jr., he's our only webcam driver here tonight. They're back in that 22nd position. You can see on the track map nice little distance between them and the lead pack. Of course, it's such a long race. If something were to go wrong, they're well back. Can definitely see it coming, that's for sure. What, man, we're at 25% into this race already, lap 20 of 80. And I tell you, boy, and they just, those guys, that inside line is working pretty good. Lucas Nilgis, he's trying to get them up there, but yeah, he's back there probably trying to do a little side drafting as well. But man, I tell you, they are running strong on that inside line. Shane Wilden, he did manage to get back up there with his teammates. And they continue to run 1 through 4. And you know, they got to be excited about that tonight, being able to sponsor the race. And so far, you know, right up there leading the way. Ryan Pressler, good to see him up there running. And him and Michael Zuber, you'll see him up there from time to time, but a lot of times you'll see him further back in the order as well. So always nice to see some somewhat unfamiliar faces up toward the front there. Ryan Broderick, he's another regular that you can see up in the mix there. A little further back, there's Nick Cannon. He's one of the drivers that's in the drop zone. And the only other driver that he's ahead of that's in the drop zone right now is Carl Fitz. But he's also ahead of Chris Lynn, who's back in the 17th position. So, yeah, he's got some Chris Lynn he is not safe right now. He's on the bubble, and boy, and that bubble could pop if he doesn't get ahead of some of those guys that are in the drop zone. Bill Hales, like I said earlier, he is in a very good position right now, tucked in right behind teammate Robbie Bice, as they continue to run right at the front. And you know, that may be as far as those teammates right there. Robbie Bice, now he's not in the playoffs. Bill is, and Carson Pittman back in the 3rd spot is also now he's not in the drop zone, but he's in the playoff as well. So Shane Wilden and Robbie Bice, they may be trying to protect the 53 and the 4. They're two guys that are in the playoffs. It may be part of their team plan here tonight. Lucas Nilge, you see him getting a little closer up on that high side. But look at Michael Zuber taking a look. Lucas Nilge just kind of, oh man, he got hung out to dry, or either he just washed up the track or something. Now he might have tried switching positions with those guys and see if maybe they can pull him along a little quicker. Look at William Brown putting the bumper there to the 96 as they go down the backstretch. He's got Matthew Fitz right behind him. He's moved in between him and his teammate Lucas Nilges. All this time, Robbie Bice has continued to lead. Bice, Hales, Pittman, and Wielden. Brian Pressler in that 5th spot. Ken Baum Jr. right there in that 6th position. You see Michael Zuber now trying to get a little boost there, see if he can get up past the 2 machine. Well, I tell you, that outside line, we've seen them have a couple of little jumps of momentum there, and they were able to get up to the front, but things kind of cooled down a little bit. That outside line just not hot right now. We saw Lucas Nilchus get up there earlier. Cannon jockeying for position with the 17, Tyler Isley. It'll make you wonder in that. I wonder if he's wishing, I wish I was down on that inside line, but I mean, it's not moving terribly fast. That's not like they're just getting freight train there and stuff, but just not getting the momentum they need. To catch the leaders. Now, speaking of the leaders, who is that they're catching up there? Was that, oh, that's Michael Self, about 7 seconds ahead. I thought I saw somebody, well, who is that up against the wall back there? Let's see. I I saw somebody up on the high side. Not exactly sure who it was. I'm not sure if I think it was a lead lap car. Well, let's see. Yeah, from the looks of it, everybody up here is on the lead lap. But I tell you, William Brown doing all he can to get Michael Zuber up there. A little bit of a gap there. Ryan Pressler, almost a car length between him and Ken Baum Jr. Michael Zuber right next to the 2 car there. But I tell you, try as they might, man, they just can't get that outside line working there. Look at William Brown doing everything he can to try to help Zuber as much as possible. But they all continue to stay in line here. Oh, that's Michael Self up there, that light blue car up towards the front. Yeah, he's another driver that's going to get caught here very soon. I thought I saw somebody up there, up on the high side. And nobody has come down to pit at all. No green flag pit stops or anything. And so there he is, staying to the high side as the leaders go on by. And there's Zuber, he zooms right on by. The whole field looks like it'll go by, and he'll try to latch onto the back here, I would imagine. Drop down to the inside, there he goes. Hopefully he can hold on to Brody Green there. Oh man, he's like 0.3 of a second already. He's steadily losing ground for some reason. I don't know if he has full power or not. He's got his foot in it, but man, he is now over 0.7 of a second. So Michael Self in trouble there. Just could not latch on to the draft, and he might get left once again. Now there is a pack of cars behind him that will catch him eventually. I think that was back there with Colin McCarthy and company. They'll probably catch Self in a few laps. Robbie Bice continuing to lead. Bill Hale's right there with the bump draft. Ryan Pressler, he's just nailed into that 5th position. Boy, him and Ken Baum Jr., they have not moved a muscle since the start of the race. They have not tried to make. They're not messing with the Mopar Motorsports drivers up there, because they know that's nothing's good's gonna come out of that, because you know those guys are gonna stick together. And right now, his plan of action is probably pretty much keep it right where he is. Ken Baum Jr., he's doing what he can do, and sticking right behind the 67, staying right in line with them. Michael Zuber back there sniffing around, trying to see if he can get a position there, and just not making any headway on that outside line. Rest of the field rolling along pretty good here. Jeremy Zarfos in that 10th position. And boy, I tell you, now we start to inch closer and closer to the halfway point. And you know, we've seen it before when they get, if they end up doing green flag runs, I tell you, sometimes that can really break the field up, because if you don't have a good pit stop, if you overshoot your pit box, it'll just throw your timing off and the guys you might have pitted with. And it's going to be very important for folks to get in there and, you know, hit their marks and get in there and get out of there and try to stick together. Very important for, I'll be very curious to see how the top 4 there, the Mopar Motorsports drivers, do when they come down for their pit stops. Because they all, They're all right there. Now they haven't lost any. They're all right where they started the race from the looking at the relative there in the lower right hand side. You know that if it shows a plus or minus number, it'll show you how many positions they've gained or lost since the start of the race. So they're all right in line. They all qualified well. So things are looking pretty good for Mopar Motorsports right now, I got to tell you. And it's kind of in that situation where, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ryan Broderick trying to get a little closer. Now, is he trying to move up on the high side? Is he's almost splitting between Tyler Isley and Michael Zuber there. He's going to have to either decide to stay on the, I don't know, if he gives up that inside line, he might get past. I mean, he's getting past anyway. There's Zuber trying to make a move, but it looks like he's going to stick to that high line. Doesn't look like, man, you can tell their draft is working pretty good against the 5 anyway. Now look at the Zuber now moving up past the 67. Michael Zuber on the move. Now he's up there to the 98 there, Shane Wheeldon. Look like they're getting alongside Bill Hales. Man, they're attacking those Mopar drivers right now as they come down to the stripe here, start lap 36. Oh, sorry, 35. Door to door with Robbie Bice at the front. And now they're battling to hold on. Let's see what happens here as they race down the backstretch. William Brown pushing the daylights out of the 96 Michael Zuber. Look at the Mopar Motorsports team on the inside. Trying to stay right there. Bill Hales, good draft. There's the 4 there. Carson Pittman. Shane Wheeldon. About half a car length further back. But once again, they muscle their way to the front and hold on to that lead. Mopar Motorsports drivers being very formidable here tonight. And did I just see, look like they moved out just, you see Carson Pittman moved out just a little bit. I think that was a little bit of a blocking maneuver. Yeah, these boys, they've been looking on the chalkboard on this one. They've definitely been drawing up their game plan tonight. And like I said about the pit stops, all this stuff that they're doing on the track right now, that's all well and good. But I tell you, all the good work that they're doing, don't forget, guys, come into the pits. It's got to be everything. It's got to be your racecraft, and it's got to be your work that you do on pit road as well. So critical, especially at a place like this, and especially if it's a green flag pit stop. There is no margin for error, and that is a high pressure situation when you come down and do a green flag pit stop, knowing that everybody. Now, why is it showing caution? Why is the caution light on? Interesting. You know, I think I might have had it set to manual or something. I had the manual button, so I don't know how long that was up there, but there hasn't been any cautions, obviously, in the race. And I just noticed that. 3 laps away from the halfway point. And here they come, folks. Hang on, Michael Zuber, William Brown and company, they're coming down pit road, man. I sure hope nobody gets a speeding penalty. Robbie Bice making his way down pit road. And all of them coming down with him. Bill Hales, Carson Pittman making his way down. Shane Wheeldon. They all have to try to stick together. Brian Presley, he came in with them as well. There's some more guys coming in. Kyler Carthy from him and the group of guys back there with him. They're all coming in as well. David Smil Jr. Bice already down in his pit box. And we'll see if all these guys, can they get out of there together. They came in together. Left side, he looks like he's about to finish. Carson Pittman goes out first. 3 of his teammates are gone. Oh, no, 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 no. Did Robbie get a speeding penalty? We saw some smoke when he locked up. Oh, my goodness. He might have got a speeding penalty. But anyway, Ken Baum Jr. he won the he's not on pit road, but he on his way out. Let's see where are the guys. There's Carson Pittman. Now he's there with Bill Hales and Shane Wheeldon. Man, Robbie Bice is still on pit road. I think I don't know. I think he's serving a penalty. And now he's on his way out now. And oh my goodness, is there anybody behind him? Nope. He's out there all by himself. And man, I would go ask him, but he may be upset right now, and I don't want to bother him. He might have, or saw him lock up a little bit when he was coming down to the entry line to the pit road. He might have came in just a fraction too hot, and doggone it, drew a speeding penalty. I'm just speculating. I don't know for sure, but that's the only reason I can see for him to stay there that long. At the moment, Ken Baum Jr., he's your leader. Him and Ryan Broderick running 1-2. Jeremy Zarfos right behind them there in that third position. And everybody in the top 7 are going to have to pit. They have not been in. The rest of the field has pitted. Kevin Click running in that 4th position with the 48 there. Stan Mayberry rounding out the top 5. And then we have Chris Lynn. He's on the bubble and looking good for, well, he's good right now. And here they all come now down pit road. There's Jimmy Barr also making his way in. So when they pit, there's William Brown. He will cycle up to the lead. Boy, him and Nick Cannon in tow. Boy, that could be a good thing for Nick Cannon, because one of the guys in the drop zone, they're making their way down the backstretch. And the other guys, they're down there on pit road. There's Jimmy Barr, Ken Baum Jr. right behind him. And you know, I don't see a whole lot of activity for either one of them. There's Ken Baum Jr. It might have been just fuel that they were doing. There he is. There's William Brown. And we see Ken Baum Jr. making his way out. There he is there. But I think Brown and company are going to get him. He's still showing you the leader right now. But boy, you see that long train of cars back there. They are definitely going to, here comes William Brown, and look at the speed difference there, how they're just closing in. I mean, nothing he can do. He's basically a sitting duck. So he knows it. He's obviously going to get on the pedal as quickly as possible, but now the whole field basically going to race on by. Oh, no! We got a caution as the field is racing by just at the completion here. Just as we go past the halfway mark, and I think it looks like it's Matthew Fitz, and oh, he's up on his side. Matthew Fitz up on his side, and obviously he is just gonna have to toe in. Nothing he can do there. Let's go back and take a look and see if we can see what happened to Matthew. And oh, let's run it back a little bit. He's already in the wall there. And let's see here. We'll do it here. We'll go ahead and slow it down. And okay, he's racing along, and he's coming up behind Tyler Isley. Is anybody behind him? I think, who is that behind him? Is that Brian Pressler? Might be. And but anyway, no one's he's not making contact with anyone right now. Yeah, that was Brian Pressler behind him, the 67 car. And now he's up behind Isley. And some kind of way he got tangled up with somebody in the turn. And I think we're about to run up on it now. Here he is getting close to the 17. Pressler's right there. Pretty much staying in that middle groove. Oh, the 17's about to get squeezed. He's running right up on Lucas Nilges. The 67 turns the 3 into the outside wall, and he just does nip the 17 as well. And that is it right there, folks. And boy, Matthew Fitz up on his side. Crazy ride there for the number 3. And he looks like he slid down the track and stayed on his side. Didn't roll over, no barrel roll or anything. Just came to a halt right on his side, folks. When's the last time you saw that? Wow. And so tough luck there for the number 3, Matthew Fitz. And after all is said and done, Stan Mayberry is in the lead. Nick Cannon in that second position with William Brown third and Michael Zuber, the two of them, they were up there trying to get ahead of the Mopar Motorsports drivers, and in the fourth position. Now let's see, where are the Mopar Motorsports drivers? Man, they're way down the order now. I see there's Bill Hale. They're all on pit road. It looks like they're getting fueled. Maybe they're trying to, this may be a strategy where they're going to try to see if they can maybe we'll have a green flag and maybe they'll be able to get past, can work their way back up the order later on in the race. Let's see, where is our pole sitter Robbie Bice at? He's in the 18th position, and ironically enough, he's right there with his teammates. They just passed Dylan Hastings, but Hales, Wilden, and Pittman are literally right behind him. They all have to catch up to the pace car, but they are still there together. He's 17th, and they're on the lead lap. So let me see if I can see Robbie real quick. Here he is. Hey, Robbie, Tony in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, man, I hate to ask you, man, but was that a speeding penalty you got?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Very hot coming in. I slid through. They couldn't get stopped. That's okay. I'm not going to lap.
Yeah, man. I know. I saw you lock up a little bit going. Man, I was wondering if you guys were doing awesome up at the front, man. I tell you, and it's kind of funny that after all of this, now you guys are still there together. And I guess the plan now to work your way through the field, huh?
Yeah, somebody had to go to the bathroom, so we all waited for each other. So I got new pedals, and the brakes just so different. So I gotta get used to it. That's something I was concerned about. But yeah, it's been a fun race, really good race.
10-4, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put you back down to your channel. So good luck. We'll talk to you later on.
Thanks, Tony.
And there we go, got him back down there. So now they have to try to regroup and see what they can do here. Lap 44 of 80, just past the halfway point, and obviously have some work to do. Stan Mayberry, everybody has pitted. Actually, the majority of the field has pitted at least twice. Mayberry's only come in one time on lap 40. And I think a lot of these guys, they might have came in and just topped the tanks off or something. Lights are out on the pace car. So it should be lap 45 on the restart. But from what I can see here, there's some folks here and there that pitted on like a third time, like Ken Baum Jr., Kyler McCarthy. As a matter of fact, are they the only two? They're the only two that I've seen that actually came in a third time. And on lap 43, so I'm guessing they were just topping their tanks. I'm going to try to see if they can roll the dice here and maybe get some kind of track position in case it goes green. You never know how these things are going to cycle around at the end. Pace car getting ready to come down onto pit road. So now waiting for that green flag. Mayberry will be at the front. Well, I tell you, Nick Cannon, Michael Zuber is ready to go. Waiting for that green flag. Green flag and racing here once again at Talladega. It seems like it's slow motion almost. You know, they got to get them things the way those cars are geared, you know. They're not going to accelerate away like they would at a shorter track. Time to get those things wound up. And now the number 9 there, William Brown, now he's doing the pushing there for the 48, Stan Mayberry. Oh, no, and he turns the 48 into the wall. And we stay green? Yes, we do. Mayberry, he continues to race. And I know William Brown didn't do that trying to take him out, I wouldn't think. It looks like he was seriously trying to push him along, and the 48, he just couldn't handle it. Oh, man, he just slides right up in front of Nick Cannon. Now, he can't block both Cannon and Broderick. Broderick down on that inside line. You know how well that inside line has been working. William Brown now is at the front on the outside line. And now we have Broderick trying to see if he can get a run on the inside. Right now, not able to do it just yet. Isn't this something? I mean, of course, you know, it's at the start of a fuel run here, a tire run as well. Everybody's got fresh Goodyears. And we've seen how no one has really been able to capitalize on that outside line. Maybe it's just the question of who's at the front, maybe. I don't know. But Broderick's trying to get up there. Now it's acting as if it's a role reversal here, trying to get the inside line to work. So now it's William Brown and Nick Cannon. Boy, I tell you, William Brown, I mean, if he were to go and win tonight, that is not going to help some of these other guys out, because he would be taking away a locked-in status for at least one of the other playoff contenders there for sure. You know, they say win and you're in. It looks like we have the main group, then we have a smaller group of cars back there. I think about 14th position. Yeah, that's Ken Baum Jr. Actually, Brian Pretzler. Brian Pretzler's in front of him, but he's not on the lead lap, I don't believe. He is leading that group of cars there, but he's in the 21st position, one lap down, so he's in the lucky dog spot. But, oh, and they're raking in front of him. Can he get past? Oh, and he gets collected. Michael Zuber, obviously can't stop on a dime, and so hard you just can't turn left or right, and he gets collected by Michael Zuber. Nobody's fault there. That's what happens on these plate tracks here. They're going at such high speeds. Oh my goodness, Michael Zuber, and he's got a heavy damage. And is his engine still running? Oh, I think he's dead. Yeah, it's killed it. Oh my goodness, caution here on lap 48. Let's go back, and oh no, I think Robbie Bice might have got caught up in it as well. Let's go back and take a look here. See what we see. And let's run it back here. Bice is already in the grass, and I think he might have made contact with somebody too. So here they're racing along. Let's slow it down, go on the roof cam here. Now they're back there in that second pack of cars. You know how sometimes I'll say if something happens up ahead, they'll be able to see it coming, but they're not that far behind that lead pack. Not like it was that first time when they were a bit further back. And I think something's about to happen in front of them. And see, there it is right there. We're going to stop it right there and switch cameras. Where's Michael Zuber? There he is right there. And we can see, that's William Brown getting out of shape there. The number 9, he goes down and I think that, oh no, is that Chris Lynn? Is that the 30? Oh, that's the 35. Oh my goodness, that's Kevin Click. And man, nice big hit on the 35 there, and he gets tore up. Oh my goodness, and oh my goodness, I saw who was it? The number 8 there, I think it was. Oh well, we'll just take your pick of cars. Oh man, Lucas Nilges, Dylan Hastings, everybody. You saw Robbie Bice go out of the picture there for a second. Oh my goodness. Big, a lot of damage, and they made it through. All these guys up the front here. Well, some of these guys have already looked like they might have already started towing in, but quite a bit of the casualty rate there was a little high. No fast repairs. Some folks are towing in, and once again, this is going to change the complexion of this race here tonight. William Brown, I think he's on pit road. He's not even in the car at the moment. He's either towing in, and he's got quite a bit of damage, and who knows, it could be the night done for him. Heavy damage on the number 3, Matthew Fitz. Michael Zuber, we saw him caught up in it as well. He's just sitting in the car trying to get stuff done. Let's see, who else is on pit road? Nick Cannon, he's not in his car, but he does have damage. Ken Baum Jr., he's probably getting some optional repairs done. Wheeldon, bit of damage. Robbie Bice, his damage is a little bit more severe. And I think that's the rest of the guys that are on pit road at the time. So how quickly things can change. Now, boy, now the 5 there, Ryan Broderick, is showing as your leader. And David Smil Jr. is in the 2nd position now. He's in the drop zone. And everybody behind him, well, let's see, Tyler Isley, he's back there 3rd. Jaden Bingaman is 4th. And let's see, Jimmy Barr, he's back in the 7th position. Those are some of the guys that are in the playoffs. Chris Lynn, he's in the 8th spot there. And okay, I got a message here from somebody. Well, that was just a message from David. Yeah, he's working tonight, David Salter. But yeah, and boy, I tell you, your heart's got to go out to him, man. I tell you, and it's just some tough racing here. And it'll be less than 30 laps to go when we get the green flag. And David Smil Jr. right there in that 2nd position. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Let's see. Where is David? He is gotta find Posse Racing. There he is. Move him up here real quick. Hey David, Tony in the booth, you got a copy.
Gotcha, sir.
Man, I tell you, how quickly fortunes can change from lap to lap, man, at these tracks.
I tell you what, that's the nature of the beast with super speedways like this. And the first half, I lost the draft early and just rode around a little bit, caught a tail with Kyler and Jaden, and was waiting for that caution to come out. When it did, it just kind of lucked out. We were able to get some track position out of it, and now hopefully I just want to stick with Ryan for a little bit, and hopefully we can work some magic and keep the 2 of us up here.
Absolutely, man. And of course, you definitely need those points. You are ahead of Chris Lynn, who's on the bubble, so that would definitely help your cause for sure.
Yep, the key to this, just stay clean, survive the next 30 laps, and who knows, maybe I'll talk to you at the end of this thing.
10-4, man, and I'm gonna put you back down to your channel. Good luck, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Tony.
And man, I tell you. So here we go, folks. Ryan Broderick will be leading them back to the green flag. And man, I tell you, that the Mopar Motorsports team, talk about just looking, I mean, they're just victim of the circumstance, There's nothing you can do. I mean, that's what happens at these plate tracks. And when that big one happens, if it had happened sooner in the race when they were all running 1 through 4, they would have just kept soldiering on, But it is what it is, and all of them aren't out of it. And we'll still see what they can salvage here. Green flag. Racing has resumed here. Lap 52. Tyler Isley, one of your playoff contenders. Now he might be kind of keen to get up there and get a win himself. He'd love to get himself locked in to the next round of playoffs. And matter of fact, both him and David Smil Jr., if either one of them were actually to get, oh man, look, bumper cars going on here. Wow, easy guys. Isley tapped into the 5 of Broderick, 72 tapped into 17. And poor Don DeGroot, he's back there like, okay guys, let's chill for a minute. I think they're just literally trying to boost each other, getting a little bump draft going. trying to get going as soon as possible. And you got the whole field bearing down on you. There's Jaden Robert Bingaman now in the 5th position. That's good for him too. And you're starting to see more of the playoff contenders. And a lot of it was because of that caution too, but now they're all kind of migrating to the top of the order here. And you've already got you've got 4 or say 5 in the top 10. Chris Lynn, he's back there right in the 10th position up on the high side. There's a 4 Carson Pittman down on the inside. Now he's not right next to his teammates, those that are still running. Broderick, he continues to lead. It's kind of a mixed bunch of drivers up there now. No teammates next to each other that I can see. David Smith Jr., you know, he's with Posse Racing, and actually Don DeGroot, he's with Up in Smoke. Yeah, he's with Up in Smoke, and Jimmy Barr, he's turned 2 terribles. And then behind him, got the number 1 there, Dylan Hastings, and he's actually up with Up in Smoke. I thought he was with Up in Smoke, but he's not right there with Don DeGroot at the moment either. Oh, somebody blinked out on us. It might have been Hastings. Carson Pittman, right now the highest running Mopar Motorsports driver, and now in that 9th position. Broderick continues to lead up the front. Now 26 laps remaining. And boy, I tell you, we're just gonna ride along for a moment here. Folks, grab those remote controls, turn that volume up. Let's do a crank it up session right here. Here we go now, 25 laps to go. And they stay nose to tail. Broderick continues to lead. And we got a couple of folks. Well, William Brown, he's still on pit road. Matthew Fitz is still on pit road. Michael Zuber, is he in the race? Oh, he just left the server altogether. Okay. Yeah, he expressing his disappointment as well, man. I tell you, you got to feel for the guy. Like sometimes you get caught up in stuff, and obviously no doing of your own. You just happen to be in the wrong place at the right time. And you know, that, like you said, and everybody knows that daggone this restrictor plate racing, these high speeds, lap after lap after lap, and a lot of mental focus required. to run the tight packs that they do run here. I mean, for the most part, there's two distinct groups now for sure. Back there, who is that back there in the 14th position? That's Kyler McCarthy leading that group of cars. And this is almost exactly like what I was saying earlier in the race. Now, that caution that just happened, that second group of cars, they weren't far enough back. If they were back like this, they may have a fighting chance of seeing something happening, and they have maybe enough time to get it woed down to at least assess the situation and pick a lane to drive through it. Right now they can't even see the lead pack of cars. But then when you have the big one, if you're that far back where you can't see them, that's probably a good thing. Don DeGroot up on that high side. Dylan Hastings trying to give him a push there. I tell you, where is who am I looking for? I am looking for Ken Baum Jr. He's back there in the 10th position, and that's still he's got like I say, he's got David Smith Jr. ahead of him and Chris Lynn. So I tell you, his luck is just not going his way in the playoffs this season compared to the way things were in the regular season. Boy, I tell you, he just has a steep hill to climb to try to get back up towards the front. Bill Hale's a little bit further back there. One of the Mopar Motorsports drivers in that 8th position. A couple of positions behind his teammate Carson Pittman. Carson's up in the 5th spot. So he's actually done well to really get himself back into contention here, possibly even for the win. Now 20 laps remaining. They come on, Ryan Broderick, Tyler Isley, David Smith Jr., Jimmy Barr, and Carson Pittman, all pretty much staying nose to tail. Now somebody just jumped out there on their own up on their high side. I think it was Jeremy Zarfos. Yes, it is. I think he's got Don DeGroot up there. May see if he can get up. Yeah, DeGroot's going to get up there. Maybe see if he can give him some little drafting help here. Who is that directly behind him? I think that's Dylan Hastings and Lucas Nilges trying to get that outside road. That outside road came to life on that last restart. Not this restart, but the one before. And wow. But now it's the momentum has swung once again back to the inside line. Man. Because Zarfos and company, they're well down the order there as far as they're not even close to the leaders at all. There's almost 10 cars in front of them. In fact, there is 10, or make it 11 cars in front of them now. Definitely not moving in the direction they want to move in, that's for sure. And all these guys, they know they're getting too close to the end of this race to mess up now. So they're just doing what they can do to get to the checkered flag here. But we're kind of getting into survival mode here now. And obviously, it's too early right now to throw a Hail Mary. But you seriously would have to be almost right at the front to even try something like that. Let's see, David Smil Jr. Bump drafting the 17. Man, he's going to bump draft him right into the 5. Oh, my goodness. Doing everything they can to just keep that momentum going. And Jimmy Barr, he's right there. He's not going anywhere. Carson Pittman isn't going anywhere. Ken Baum Jr. and No gap at all, really, till about, let's see, until it goes back to about Bill Hales. There may be a half a car length between him and Chris Lynn. Maybe a car length now. A little bit of a gap, but not much. Chris, he'll close that up in a hurry. Now 16 laps remaining. The rest of the field, where's Colin McCarthy and company? They're still back there, and that consists of Colin McCarthy there and Mopar driver Shane Wheeldon and Robbie Bites, man, your pole sitter. Well, you know, I mean, they got caught up in the wreck, but at least they're still out there running. You know, it could have been far worse. Carl Fitz right there behind Bice, and trying to stay in the draft with those guys, not trying his best not to lose the draft. He's about, he's about 4/10 now. And if you're not careful, he's going to lose that draft. Now he's starting to, he's right on the edge of losing that draft. Trying now, he's about 2/10. He's sucking back up now a little bit. So Carl Fitz working hard to stay in the draft. Further up the order there's Bill Hales in that 8th position. He's got Chris Lynn right behind him. He'd love to keep that 32 right behind him. Chris Lynn on the bubble. Bill Hales, he could definitely use those points to close that deficit up. And they're continuing to race towards that checkered flag. You know, still not close enough folks to try to pull the trigger or take any kind of drastic moves here and stuff. And you know, next week that's going to be, you know, can't leave anything on the table anywhere, and they're probably glad that it won't be a super speedway. But you know, it's going. Somebody's on pit road. Who is that? Is that Brian Pressler coming down by himself? And this may be a field situation where he had to come down and just couldn't make it, you know, to the end. Or maybe he's trying to get off cycle to everybody else. 13 laps to go. Maybe he's rolling the dice thinking these guys are going to have to come in and do one last green flag pit stop, and maybe he'll be able to get up there and get some track position. He does have a bit of damage on the front of that car. That car has got some aero deficiencies there, and you know, it looks like he's just trying to finish out the race. He's just staying on pit road and trying to get some of that work done. And he's obviously going to lose a lap, but I think right now, who knows, his water might have been overheating. You never know. And watch that yellow stripe there, guys. And at that part of the track, it wasn't as dangerous a thing, but when you're right in the middle of that turn, that transition from the racing surface to the apron can really upset those cars, and bad things can happen, that's for sure. And really tight pack right here. There's William Brown. He's not on the lead lap. He is back out there racing, though, currently in that 24th position. And of course, he didn't have anything to lose anyway, so he's the last car running position-wise that's still running on track. You have like a few retirements there, or just guys that are in the pits for too much work that may not be able to get back out. But boy, I'm sure he's thinking to himself now, like, man, I'm glad I got that win last week, so I don't have to worry about a night like this. Getting that win last week was insurance for tonight. So regardless of what happened and things that did happen, that win has definitely saved him here tonight, that's for sure. And I mean, not that he'd want it to happen, but same thing could happen next week and it wouldn't matter because he knows he's moving on to the next round. Ryan Broderick still pulling Tyler Isley along, making their way out of turn 4. It'll be 10 laps to go when they cross the stripe. That'll be a question. You kind of, well, you just don't know. All you can do is speculate. You kind of think, well, maybe Tyler's going to wait till the final lap, or maybe somebody behind him won't. Somebody's going to step out somewhere and try to get a run on the 5. Right now, the 5 there, Ryan Broderick, unfortunately, oh no, he kind of got moved out of the way there by the 17, Tyler Isley. And boy, if you're going to move somebody out of the way, that was how to do it. And actually credit there to the number 5 for not stuffing it in the wall, because that car got out of shape a bit. And he quickly drops in behind, I think that's Bill Hales that he dropped in. Now he's trying to get a little side draft going, I guess. But now things are changing up the front here. Jeremy Zarfos battling with Tyler Isley. Here comes Ken Baum Jr. pushing the 42 along. David Smil Jr., he's pushing Tyler Isley along. And boy, now here we go, folks, starting to heat up. Jeremy Zarfos is in the lead. He's not even in the playoffs, but he'd still love a win. The guy right behind him, though, Jaden Robert Bingaman, both him and Tyler Isley get a chance to lock themselves into the playoffs if they can get that win. And the main thing they have to do is finish that race up there in that. Oh, and it goes wrong for Tyler Isley. That may be a caution. He slid down. Was that Tyler Isley? Yes, it was. It was Tyler Isley. Got all out of shape. Doesn't look like he has any damage, and we stay green. So things went very bad there for the 17, and now Ken Baum Jr., who's in the drop zone, may have a chance to finally, who knows, maybe he'll get some luck here. Him and Jaden Bingaman, they both are in the playoffs. There also David Smil Jr. You have 3 playoff contenders right there. Smil, he's dropping back a little bit, now in that 6th position. They all know that if they can get a win, that would lock them into the next round of the playoffs. But also finishing up in the top 5 is also a big thing as well. So right now, and he's in the drop zone. He could stand to win a lot better than anybody else. But I tell you, 7 laps to go. He's back there in the 6th position. How in the world is he going to get up there to try to get that win? And man, they're all beating and banging now, folks. Oh my goodness. Jeremy Zarfos and Dylan Hastings, 2 guys that are not even in the playoffs, trying to battle for position. Ken Baum Jr. now tucks right in behind the 42. Boy, I tell you, if he can't win it, he's doing the next best thing, coming in P2 if he can get that. Jaden Robert Bingaman definitely in a better spot than he is. Oh my goodness. You almost don't want to watch. Look at this. They're like bumper cars here, man. You know what? I don't know, folks. This isn't going to end well. Oh my goodness. Here we go. It'll be 5 laps to go. Jeremy Zarfos, he's up at the front of that train. Stan Mayberry's in front of him, but he's about 20 seconds down the road, so they may not even catch him before the race is over. I don't know. Oh, no, look at that. I think that was Ken Baum Jr. blinking a little bit. Man, you would hate to see his connection go out at this point in the race, or at any point, really, but now he's lost something there. He lost some momentum. Look at Jaden Robert Bingaman. He's going to move into the lead. It's him and David Smil Jr. running 1st and 2nd. Carson Pittman, one of the Mopar Motorsports drivers, now in that 3rd position. Minus all of his teammates. Boy, I know he'd love to have them all around him right now. But Pittman and the 53 were the two drivers that were in the playoffs that in the team that were in the playoffs. And Bill Hales, he's back in 9th position. And he's already in the drop zone, so being that far back, that's not going to help him at all. Jaden Bingaman fighting to hold on. Anything goes wrong, it'll trigger a green-white checker situation here. Coming out of turn forward, coming down to the line, it'll be 3 laps to go. Jaden Bingaman, David Smil Jr. right behind him. And, it looks like Bingaman went to the high side. Is that going to help him or hurt him? David Smil Jr.'s got his nose out front. He's got Carson Pittman pushing him along. And he decides to stay down on the inside. Look at the bump draft competition going on here. There's the 5 trying to push the 4 into the 72 to get him on up there. David Smil Jr. has the most to gain here tonight in the drop zone. It'll be 2 to go when he gets to the white flag. I mean, gets to the stripe here. Coming around, here we go, coming to the stripe. 2 laps remaining. It's David Smil Jr., Carson Pittman. Is Carson Pittman going to continue to try to push him along, or is he going to go for it himself on the final lap of the race? Pittman, they're both in the playoffs. Pittman's not in the drop zone. David Smil Jr. is. There's Ryan Broderick as well. Now he bumps into the 4, and the 4 bumps into the 72. And Carson Pittman, does he have I don't know if he has any damage or not. I think he was involved in one of those cautions, and I don't know if his car is 100% where he can get up the front and stay up the front or not. He may be trying to just protect the 72 there. You never know. Final lap, white flag is in the air. Here we go, folks. There's no tomorrow now. It's David Smil Jr., Carson Pittman, Ryan Broderick. Somebody's getting around. That's William Brown and company. Big wreck coming on behind them. It's not going to matter. Final lap, we race to the checkered flag. It's Smil Jr., Pittman, Broderick, Cannon. Nick Cannon also in the top 5, running 4th. That'll be great for him. 2 guys that are in the drop zone. David Smil Jr., who's been struggling to try to stay in the playoffs, might get himself locked into the round of 8. He's coming around. Here comes Ryan Broderick. Pittman, they're both going to try to take on the 72, and they get him turned sideways. Oh, no, and across the line, and it's Ryan Broderick who's going to steal the show and the victory here tonight at Talladega. Nick Cannon finished in the 2nd position, Pittman 3rd, Bingaman 4th, and Smil Jr. He did end up in the 5th position. That's still better than nothing, than being taken DNFing altogether. But man, congratulations to Ryan Broderick picking up the win here tonight at Talladega. Man, whew. You want excitement, just hang around. It'll be coming here very, very shortly. He's going to come on down. Time to do some celebrating. I'm going to go ahead and grab the guys, Broderick, Cannon, and Pittman. And let's see. I see Pittman there. We'll bring him up. And look, let's find everybody else. Where is Nick? I see Nick there. We'll move him on up. And got to find Carson Pittman. He's in Mopar. Where's their team at? Let's see. There he is. But did he jump up already? Oh, he's already up there. We got to find Ryan Broderick. That's who we're looking for. Where's Ryan? He's a single car team. I wonder if he's in a channel with one of the other teams, though. There he is. He's with Posse Racing. And we'll move him on up there. Okay, and let's head on down there with him. Okay, folks, we're down here with your top three, Ryan Broderick, Nick Cannon, and Carson Pittman. Hey, Ryan, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, I tell you, talk about taking it right down to the wire. No way of knowing how that was going to turn out. All hell breaking loose behind you. Man, congratulations on that win.
Thank you. I mean, you described it. All hell did break loose.
I tell you, man, and it ended up being a race of attrition there. From about midpoint on, a couple of big wrecks and really changing the complexion of the race. How was your race all night? I mean, you were doing pretty good. You were hanging in there for most of the race there.
Yeah, we just, we cycled towards the front during the pit cycle, and then pretty smooth sailing for there, and I was just trying to ride and get that bottom lane going to where we were singled out. And we got that for a while, and we kind of just rode there. Then I kind of got a bad bump from Isley. No fault on his, and I got lost the lead there, but I was like, they're going to wreck. And I was just trying to get myself in a spot where I knew I could see the front. And I knew coming to that white flag, third on the bottom wasn't a bad spot to be. And just hope something would happen off of four. And I just kind of committed to being third behind David on the inside. And they wrecked each other in the tri-oval. I tried to side draft Carson, and Carson was trying to side draft Schmiel. And then Carson got into Schmiel, and I said, just get as high as possible, because I've had that where think you're in clear on the high side, and you get turned the last second. So.
Wow. Man, that is something, man. I tell you, anybody want to give a shout out to?
This is everyone at Posse Racing, over there in Pennsylvania Posse League, helping out with setups, Chris, Jimmy, all those guys. So, David helped me a lot all night pushing. Isley gave me a lot of good pushes, so I got to thank those guys as well. Well, I love these races, but
absolutely, man. You guys were like bumper cars there for a while, man. I was like, oh my goodness, how is this going to end up?
Yeah, it takes a lot of luck to win these races.
Yeah, man. I tell you, well, congratulations again, man, and we will see you next week.
All right, thank you, man.
And hey, Nick, you got a copy?
Yep.
Man, I tell you, boy, he couldn't get the win, but got the next best thing, man. Congratulations on that finish there, man. And, man, you got your battle scars tonight, that's for sure, but still got that some much-needed points to try to get you up the order here in the playoffs.
Really did. Tonight was fantastic all the way up until that wreck I was in. Got me three and a half minutes of optionals. Didn't take all of it. Still, car was still good. Still felt like it could fly. I have the best teammates in the world. They help me out so much. Lucas and Will are, top tier. They're great. They're just fantastic.
I tell you, man, and that's and like, cause I know you'd love to be locked in like William is right now, but. Man, I tell you, at least you're gonna survive, and you should be able to make another round here. I think they already put the points up here, and you moved up 3 positions. So, and we're gonna go over that here in a second too. But so right now it's looking like you might be on the bubble yourself now. You got in that position because you were down in the drop zone for a while. But yeah, man, I tell you, that's right. If you can't get a win, get on that podium, man, and congratulations. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
The rest of my team, we just all worked together all the way up until we wrecked. We had a plan. We really did, and it just didn't fully work out for us, but they still helped me to a P2.
10-4, man. Well, congratulations again, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay, now, hey, Carson, you got a copy?
Yep, gotcha.
Man, I tell you, man, I felt so bad for you guys, man. Mopar Motorsports were looking so strong. you guys are running 1 through 4. I mean, you all qualified. It almost seemed like it was just going to be your night tonight. You qualified well, and you all stayed right there, right from the drop of the green flag, man. And I tell you, and got bitten. Old Lady Luck kind of turned her back on you tonight, man, and everything went all sideways. But at least you salvaged the podium finish for the team there, and congratulations. And I was saying earlier, you and Bill Hales are the two that are in the playoffs, so it's good to see one of y'all get up on the podium here, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we had a lot of speed. Just kind of unfortunately been the story of our season this year at super speedways. Lots of speed and lots of bad luck, but yeah, it was good. I'm happy to get a good finish. Wish the rest of the guys could have had solid runs as well.
Absolutely, man. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Just Mopar Motorsports guys, Shane, Robbie, Bill, and David.
10-4, man. Well, congratulations again, and we will see you guys next week.
Appreciate it.
Okay, now. Okay, folks. Wow. Well, that will do it here, and let's go ahead and I'm gonna bring up the results but we've been trying to get the live points, and I'm just gonna drag them right into the window here, so hopefully you can see this here, and I'm trying to scroll it down so you can see the top 12 there and stuff, and yeah, you can see about right there. And Kevin Click, he fell down to the 10th spot. Nick Cannon, he's actually in a tie with Ken Baum Jr. for 8th. So it's almost like we have 2 guys on the bubble moving next week. And Jaden Robert Bingaman up into that lead. Carson Pittman, good night for him as well. And so, so that's kind of where we are right now. Let's go ahead and bring up the results real quick of the race there. Of course, Ryan Broderick won the event here, and Nick Cannon with that 2nd position. And look on down the order and see where your favorite driver is. And that'll do it for this evening. And I tell you, next week we'll be going to the final race of the round of 12. It's the Extreme K9 250. So you won't want to miss that, folks. So for all of us here at Rice Motorsports TV, we want to wish you a pleasant evening.